everyone.
67.
Welcome
Holy
inside
cow.
the Deuce
75.
Vodka Deadline
Holy
Show.
Twitter, you
we
are blowing
buzzing.
up. Woo.
We are buzzing. We want to
All
welcome
right.
you guys inside. We got a great show for you. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about,
Yeah.
Jay.
New label. Nation Beer labels are in.
Yes. Okay. Obviously, lots going on with the trade deadline. We've seen a couple big acquisitions happen already. Nick Foligno to the Leafs. Taylor Hall to the Bruins. Frick me.
To the Bruins.
Taylor Hall to the Bruins. And the Oilers, they made a deal. Stud defenseman, shutdown defenseman, Dmitry Kulikov coming to Edmonton. We're going to get to that. But first of all, Jay, your initial reaction to everything happening on deadline day so far?
Well, it's been pretty quiet. We got a depth defenseman, which I guess that opens up the question. Does that mean we're going to be getting rid of one of our defensemen now? Or is this just some added depth? Does this mean Caleb Jones is in play for a last-minute deal?
I think the biggest thing that this is that this is the Oilers, essentially the Oilers coaching staff and general manager saying that Caleb Jones isn't where we want him to be.
Yep.
I think they came into this season expecting Caleb Jones to take a bigger step than he has. If you want to look at the advanced analytics, if you want to look at the Corsi, if you want to look at the expected goals for percentage and all that crap like that, sure, it'll tell you that Caleb Jones is having an okay season. He's not. He hasn't performed to the point where you would expect him to. I know he's still very young. He has less than 100 NHL games played.
Oh, yeah, a lot of development we had.
But going into a playoff series, Caleb Jones is not the answer on your second pair. So they had to insulate. And they went out and got their guy, Dmitry Kulikov. So
Their guy.
should we
Number
just
one on the list.
first of all, we want you guys to ask questions. This is going to be all about you. Interactive. Come at us with your hot takes.
Please do. We've only made one trade and we just dissected it. So
Literally.
come at us.
So please, whether it's a trade you wish happened, a trade you want to see happen, how upset you are Hall went to Boston.
Are we upset?
Please, I think a lot
Are we
of it.
upset? There's a few things we need to factor about Taylor Hall here. Is if we were aggressively in and we were named as one of the teams in the mix, he had a choice on also where he got to go because he holds all the cards with a no movement clause. So it might not necessarily be an issue of Uncle Ken not being able to deliver the trade proposal needed to make it happen. It could be Taylor Hall wants to go to Boston over Edmonton.
Oh,
that's
big time.
That's something we have to take into consideration. So we can't get super hung up on it. Also, on the other hand, I'm kind of happy that we didn't because we would have probably he didn't go for a lot.
I can't. I don't know if I
And
can
then you
do
see
it.
Nick Foligno.
I don't know if I can do this
And then
show
you
today.
see Nick Foligno, and he went for everything. That also tells you how the market perceives Taylor Hall.
Yeah, and we have two different opinions on this.
But you know what? Because of what happened, we didn't have a second round, and we also didn't have a second round pick to give, so we couldn't even really compete.
I know,
in
but
the
look at the
same
return.
space.
The return
We
was
I know,
Anders Bjork, who has like 4
but
points.
we didn't have the currency. We can sign him in the offseason.
Okay, if you're okay.
But that's what I'm saying. All you Taylor Hall lovers, we can still sign him in the offseason because what he went to for Boston, that is at a rental rate. That is at a rental rate.
That's less than a rental rate.
That is sure, but that is not a guy who's re-signing in Boston.
Yeah. Steve Simmons has in quotes their guy. He likes it. We're on the Dmitry Kulikov train. And before we get to a couple other trades that happened, why don't we give you a little preview of what Dmitry Kulikov is. 30 years old. He was drafted. He's a first rounder, 14th overall to the Florida Panthers in 2009. The biggest thing that stands out for me when it comes to Dmitry Kulikov, Jay, is he's 30 years old. He's already played 715 NHL games.
Veteran, wily veteran.
Yes, he was an NHL regular at 19 years old. So you're getting a guy that has been in the league for a long time. If you look at his point totals, they're terrible. He doesn't put up points, but that's just not his game. This is Adam Larson 2.0. You're getting a left-handed guy that's likely going to slot into the second pair with Adam Larson, and that is your shut-down pair. And the biggest thing that I like about Dmitry Kulikov, not to drink the Kool-Aid too much, Jay, is he's a big body. And you need big bodies in the playoffs.
We need some meat.
If you have Ethan Bear, Caleb Jones, Chris Russell, and Tyson Barrie in your top 6 defensemen in the playoffs, those are 4 small bodies. Dmitry Kulikov adds some size to that.
Yeah, 100%. And hopefully he's assertive. I didn't check what his penalty minute totals are.
He actually this year led the New Jersey Devils in regards to time on ice on the penalty kill. So he is a penalty killer. But New Jersey's penalty kill was dead last in the NHL.
Okay, well.
But we don't really have to worry about that. We have some great penalty killers in
Yep.
Edmonton. Darnell Nurse, Adam Larson, Chris Russell if he's in the lineup. So I don't necessarily think he will go on the penalty kill.
I've got a take to consider here.
Okay, go for it.
I also got someone on Twitter has a question for you, which I'll ask in a bit.
Okay.
So he was on the Winnipeg Jets last season.
Yes, he was.
And Winnipeg Jets are lacking in D.
Yes, they are.
And he only went to the Devils for $1.5 million. So he wasn't trying to hold anyone for ransom.
Yeah.
So that tells me Winnipeg moved on from him, and Winnipeg is a team that needs help on defense.
So that makes you
nervous.
nervous.
I'm just trying to. I'm making an observation here.
Did you see the video I had of his snipe on Cam Talbot back in 2017?
Yeah.
I threw that on Twitter.
Yeah. We always got to find the silver lining. I got a question for you from Twitter.
Okay, go for it. And then we'll get to some
our
on
boy
Facebook.
Dangerous Wade.
We
Question
see the
for Josh.
Facebook ones.
How can Holland compete when the player does not want to play here?
Okay. So this is referencing a tweet that I made last night. I said, how could the Oilers not compete with this when this is the acquisition cost for Taylor Hall?
Yeah.
So essentially, I went on a tirade of tweets last night talking about how this is ridiculous. The Oilers couldn't get it done. And Dangerous Wade, I agree with you. It comes down to simply that. You know, if Taylor Hall didn't want to play in Edmonton, he wasn't going to play in Edmonton. He waived his no-move clause to go to Boston.
Put it this way. For all you Taylor Hall lovers, and it's okay to love him, but we didn't turn our back on him. He turned his back on us.
Yes. Okay, couple questions coming in on Facebook, and then we
Kulikov, I hope he's our Ulanov.
Sean says, Bouchard getting sent down if we don't move a D-man. I don't think they'll send Bouchard down
yet. Will.
Because I think they still want to get him in games. Even though they haven't, I still think they want to get him in games.
And we need the depth.
Sean also says Jay Smile is too big for us not getting Hall. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Chris Ryan, I'm not upset about Hall. To many variables when next season's signings come around. True. Spanky Egg, do the Oilers make a crazy move to go after Tyler Seguin because Hall went to Boston? Tyler Seguin, I talk about washed up.
We can't afford him. The little spite trade. Here's the thing that we need to fight with as internally as Oilers fans. Because for me, I'm like, the time is now. But I'm also like, we've got all this cap space. We don't have any picks in this upcoming draft.
Yeah, we got no picks.
We're not in the best position to make a big move. So unless we're willing to go first rounder and next year's and the following season's first rounder.
Yeah.
But that just tells me we're just loading the gun and we can do some for next season. And I hate that because we've been we're right in the peak of Connor's prime. And we're not waiting till he's 30 to do this. But if there's some kind of depth pieces we can pull off right now, given our current capital situation of what we have to trade with without giving up Broberg or anyone crazy.
See, this is where I have trouble with this, Jay, is because Oilers fans' favorite cop-out when Ken Holland doesn't do something is they're up against it. They have no assets and they got no money. So then how did Toronto make it work for Nick Foligno?
Tampa.
Then how did Boston?
Vegas has got Janmark.
Yeah.
They might pull off Getzlaf last minute.
Okay, I see all the questions coming in on Facebook. Please fire those off. I'm going to get to those in 1 second. I want to let you know about 2 trades that just happened. Sam Bennett, he's going to Florida. So Sam Bennett just got traded to Florida, and Eric Gustafson to Montreal. So
good Branson or
Gustafson? Eric Gustafson
from Chicago.
From Chicago, yes. So a guy that the Oilers.
Where are you getting the
Twitter
feed? Oh,
so a guy that the Oilers actually had their sights on last deadline, Eric Gustafson, now in Montreal. So they bolster their back end. Okay, comments coming in.
Loading up.
Tyler Cohen says, why do we need another left-handed defenseman? We needed size in the second pairing, and we needed someone to fill that gap so that Caleb Jones could get bumped out of the lineup.
Yep.
Don says, need a Bear replacement. I have been skeptical of Ethan Bear in the past, but I don't think he is showing lack of enough to get him out of the lineup. I still want Ethan Bear in my every night lineup. I still think he's a good defenseman. He's trending. Raj says, do we try to go after Hoffman and get rid of Neal and maybe another small piece to make that happen? Jay doesn't want Hoffman because he's a cancer, but they would never to get Hall or to get Hoffman and have Neal going the other way. You'd have to throw in a first.
I swear to God, but I'm not wrong when I'm saying that. Hoffman can shoot the puck.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
He can shoot the puck. That's his whole dynamic. He's a one-trick pony, but he's really good at that trick. But there's a dark cloud around that guy, man. We got to protect our nucleus, our room here. I just don't get good vibes. The fact that that St. Louis just wants to move on from him.
Chris Wren says, "How's Kulikov's feet? Is he a decent skater?" Only thing I've seen out of him is the goal. I haven't watched anything.
I don't know enough.
Spanky Egg says we should call him Dirty Dimitri. Nice.
Yeah, sure.
I like that. Yeah, crazy to see Sam Bennett just got traded for more than Taylor Hall did. So Sam Bennett is going to Florida for a second-round pick and a prospect.
And a prospect.
I don't know who the prospect is. I don't know what grade it is. But CRS Cross says, is Cuckoo going to be healthy for playoffs? It's looking like yes. Ken said the other day he's trending.
Yeah, he is trending.
James Mitchell says, we need secondary scoring, and we get a Russian Chris Russell 2.0. Very different player than Chris Russell.
We still have like 10 minutes here, and by 10 minutes, there's probably 30 minutes after the trade call for things to get filed in. So like, we need scoring, 100%.
Yeah. And
are we gonna get it? I don't know.
Hey, that's why we decided to do this show at 12:30. We're before the deadline, and then once the deadline hits, we'll give you an update on what we think. I would never do that.
How is okay? So Laine's a one-dimensional guy. Really can shoot the pill.
But if you're one-dimensional, it's 39 goals.
Really can shoot the pill. I think he's got a just horrific ego on him. Goes over goes to Columbus, and I just don't know if we need that.
Yeah.
Plus you got to qualify him at like $7.5 million.
Oh, Gustafsson was with the Flyers. I thought he was with the Blackhawks still.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay.
Sam Bennett does have a good stash. It is worthy of a second-round pick. You're right.
You got any comments coming in on Twitter you want to get to?
I just replied to one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Dangerous Wade again.
Robert says, if we trade Nuge for Laine, I'll just give up.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
You're trading a big piece of our character for someone who has none.
Okay, keep sending in your questions. We are 9 minutes away from the NHL trade deadline. Will the Oilers make a move for a guy like Darren Ryan, Luke Glendening, a third-line right-shot center that can take face-offs? Oh, gosh. Hey, if the Oilers make a deal...
So here's the thing. Okay, so the pieces we need to do, if we're going all in for this season, is we needed help on the lefty. So we got a cheaper version of what we were hoping there. We need a third-line center, and we need scoring. So there's two. We got one of the three pieces. Can we pull off the two pieces? The likelihood is very, very low.
Hey, if you had to take...
And what are we giving up?
Hey, if you had to take Hall, Laine, or Hoffman on this team today, who would you take?
Hall.
You take Hall over Laine and Hoffman, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because it's the devil I know.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you've been there. It's like getting back together with your ex. It's just, you're not sure if it's right, but probably just do it. Why not? Okay, before we get to some more comments here, keep sending them in on Facebook. We are 8 minutes away from the deadline. Your guy, Nick Foligno, going to Toronto. It's a big return for Columbus. They're getting a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick. Obviously, there was some money retained through a broker in San Jose. Stefan Yoshin, I believe is how you say his name, going to Toronto as well. That's a big return, and that's a big cost to get Nick Foligno, considering he has maybe 6 goals this year, Jay, but you like it. I'm going to
say this. I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm now actually concerned about the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Whoa. Yeah, of course, the Toronto Sports Network, TSN, out in Toronto, put out a post this morning, and it was like, oh, look at the leadership that the Leafs have. And they have like 5 former captains on their team. Like Tavares was a captain, Joe Thornton was a captain, Nick Foligno was a captain. Well, Tavares is a captain, but Nick Foligno was a captain, Joe Thornton was a captain, Jason Spezza was a captain, and then I forget who the other one was. But they have, it's just like they just have like in 2015 they would be sick.
That was no.
Well, they're sick now.
In 2021, oh shoot, in 2021 they're gonna be. I hate to say it, like they paid the price.
But they got their guy.
They paid the price, but they got a good. Yeah, they're gonna be tough. Nick Foligno is part of the team that the underdog that took down the Flames, the Leafs in the play-in series. He was the leader of the team that swept the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round.
Yeah,
like, the guy's gonna show up.
Chris Ryan says Raquel would be my selection at the deadline. We watched him single-handedly destroy us 2 years ago. Cross says Derek Brassard for tourists? Listen, we are 6 minutes away from the NHL trade deadline. Send us in if you were Ken Holland, or if you had the choice to be Ken Holland for the next 6 minutes, and you were to make one realistic deal for the Edmonton Oilers. Send it to us right now.
Who are we getting and how? Who are we getting and how?
Who are we getting? Who do you want us to get? And how are we making it happen? Jay, would you like to start? Do you have someone that you want us to get, and how you think we could make it happen?
That's still available?
That's still available. Do you want to look at TSN trade bait board? We can look at
for me, like, if it's... I feel like we could figure out the 3C situation. If we're getting one piece, we need a top 6 guy.
Yeah.
So we're probably... Raquel would be great. I don't know if he's a reclamation project or not, if he's taking a step back, or it's just the Ducks suck.
Yeah. How about some... How about...
If Winnipeg gets Josh Manson, I'm going to lose my mind. I hope Winnipeg does not get their guy.
We had a fake source come out this morning. I believe it was Kevin Hayes' brother or someone said they made a tweet that said Oilers get Alexiak. So there was a tweet that came out from a verified account this morning that said, and this guy is an NHL media member, I forget what his name is, that said the Oilers got Alexiak. Man, what an addition that would have been.
I don't know why we don't, like, if we're gonna do like the poor man's approach to try to address what we need. Okay, we did it with Kulikov. Okay, done. 3C. I don't know who I see out there as a 3C, but like, if we can't get, and people are gonna hate me for this, well, Lawton. If you could get Lawton, that would be unreal. Out of Philly, I don't know what that's gonna cost. They're trying to.
Well, they just re-signed. He signed. Yeah, 3x5. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
5x3.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So that was never gonna happen. Like, do you think last minute trying a Ryan Dzingel experiment is okay?
I would. He's a speedy forward. He's got some decent hands. Like, I don't think it would take that much to get him out of Ottawa.
He's a UFA. It won't cost us much.
Yeah, but like,
it won't cost us much. That's the big thing. If we're gonna do like the low spend version of addressing the 3 spots that we really need to address, because I won't say we need this season. We need to address a goaltending, because Mike Smith has earned the right to be our starter for the playoffs.
Yeah. Keep sending in your trade proposals. I'm going to get to some right now. Jay, give me a quick 5-second answer for each of these, if you would do it and if you would prefer it. Dallas simply says, get Ryan Getzlaf. Would you do it?
I would do it.
Okay. Don,
100% I would do it. That's like getting Nick Foligno.
Don Horak says, I'd like Manson or Alexiak. Would you want either of those?
Well, Manson over Alexiak.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else we got here?
Am I fast enough for you?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Don says chase on for Alexiak. Wouldn't happen. Dallas wouldn't do it.
If it would happen, 100%.
Dallas wouldn't do it, though.
Wouldn't do it.
Steve Simmons says Jones and a first for Raquel. Anaheim wouldn't do it, but would you do it? It would take probably one more body and money out.
Yeah. Like, if they take another contract, I'd maybe consider it.
Daniel says, wasn't it Gregor that tweeted it? No, it was someone else. Zane says, Bear for Keith Yandel. No, not happening.
There's not many kilometers on his odometer line.
Stefan says, really hope Raquel. He is clutch and he has been an Oiler killer the last years. Let's get him. Yeah. Sean says, if we don't make another move, do we have a chance against the Leafs? Yes, in the playoffs. You never know. There's always a chance.
You never know, but they are building themselves a worthy roster. Sorry, I'm just pulling up.
Steve Simmons says DeBrusque for Bear. We're going back on this. Remember when we were on the DeBrusque for Bear stuff a few weeks ago?
Well, I would take DeBrusque, but I feel like Boston, because they have him now, they would keep him. Like, they just got Taylor Hall. Like, they're going for it. They're going for it. So,
after losing 8-1 to the Capitals last
night.
Dangerous
way to answer your question, wouldn't Dzingel be another Ennis? Dzingel's 6 foot. And
he's a little bit bigger.
He can be a little bit feisty. So that, to me, size going into the playoffs.
Do you remember Dzingel tried to drop him with Russell earlier in the year?
Yeah.
Dzingel, he is a former 23-goal scorer, hasn't had more than 10 goals since 2018.
Yeah, like I said, it's an absolute flyer, and the price has to be very low. That's, and we're in the last minutes here of everything, so that's why I'm throwing it out there.
Robert Weber says Mantha and Glendening for Jones, Neal, and Marody. I don't think that they would want to take on the Neal contract. I don't think Detroit would
we'd have to throw in another pick. I would do that in a heartbeat. If we get there's your top 6 guy, big giant guy who can shoot, and then we got our 3C. Like that, I would do that.
Mike says, is it too late to still try and get Hall from Boston? It's not too late. We got 1 minute left. My mom actually asked me that this morning. She's like, wait, he could still come to Edmonton, though. Couldn't they trade him from Boston? I said, no, Mom, not how it works.
I mean, sure. That's never happened, but that'd be amazing.
Daniel Sinclair, anything can happen in the playoffs, but the Leafs are going to be tough. We are 1 minute away, less than a minute away. We know that
we still have like 10, 15
trades always
after
trickle in after that. So at this point, it's looking like Ken Holland somewhat sitting on his hands.
Didn't he do the... Man, it just makes that Athanasiou trade annoying because we'd have that second round pick this year. Oh gosh,
that Athanasiou trade was terrible.
And then he's doing okay in LA. That's what drives me nuts. And then
he's snapping it around.
Then he's doing okay in LA. Like he couldn't make it work on a team with Connor McDavid. Come on, man.
It was Jimmy Hayes was who tweeted it out because now our guy, the Danalytic from Oilersnation, wants his blue check mark removed because he was putting out false tweets this morning because Jimmy Hayes had a source that was incorrect. Hey, you want to know something crazy? Yeah. I actually was working my sources yesterday.
You got sources?
I have sources. I actually had a source that told me that Taylor Hall wasn't coming to Edmonton before it was all came out. I knew Taylor Hall wasn't coming to Edmonton yesterday, like before all the news came out.
Oh, I bet you're still tweeting how much you want him?
Yep.
Trying to will it?
Yep. I'm trying to will it. Let's see. I
was coming to peace that Taylor Hall was coming to Edmonton. I was coming to
Everyone
peace.
was. Everyone thought
I'm not saying I was happy about it. I was saying I was coming to peace with it.
Gosh.
Remember, Taylor didn't choose us, so don't get your panties in a knot.
It is 1:01 Mountain Standard Time, which means it is 3:01 Eastern Standard Time. The NHL trade deadline has officially passed. We will wait. We will stay live for the next 10 to 15 minutes and keep answering your questions to see if anything else happens here. So, assuming at this point that the Edmonton Oilers have made one transaction at this trade deadline, a conditional 2022 fourth-round pick for left-handed defenseman Dmitry Kulikov, let's assume at this point, Jay, that this is the only move that Ken Holland is going to do this deadline. We'll wait and see. Give us a grade and give us your grade. Is it an A? Is it a B minus? What's your trade deadline grade for Ken Holland, and what do you wish would have happened? Let us know.
And you just have to. It depends. It depends what you think. Like, you know, for us, maybe going and like I said, as much as I want to go deep and hard, like there's some big teams loading up right now that are going to be tough competition. So, you know, maybe just making a couple little depth moves like we did. Well, I guess we only did one, but if another one comes through, might be all we should do. And then next season, we go, we're the ones. We're the big dogs. We're big game hunting. We're in on everything. And we load up, and you get, you know, next year's Taylor Hall to come join the team.
There's a lot of money coming off the books this offseason.
And then we've got our picks.
Yeah.
And then our youth have taken one step further.
Yeah.
We're in a way better position for next season. I hate to just throw but like I believe the Oilers could win the first round. If we're against Winnipeg and Winnipeg didn't get their D-man, I think we got a chance to win a round, and that's great. And you never know.
Yep. Junior Best
We've
says...
got Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
The offseason is when Edmonton will make their move. Steve Simmons, wasn't AA announced after time was up last time? I think Athanasiou might have got announced right after the deadline passed. Raj says, if RNH doesn't get traded, does that mean they have a contract set for him before he goes to free agency? No, they weren't going to trade RNH because essentially at this point he's a free rental because he's a UFA. So you weren't going to trade him.
Our season.
Yeah, unless you were getting some insane return of a guy that was on contract, you weren't going to trade RNH. Obviously, we've heard that there's talks going on, but I would assume at this point they have nothing set. Chris Wren says Athanasiou looked good in the last game of the play-in round. Sad we couldn't re-sign him. Steve Simmons says, Ranch employees, is that your source? No, it's not my source. Come on. I have one source.
You know he's a local guy.
I'm a local guy, or my source is a local guy?
You're a local guy.
I am a local guy. James Mitchell, we are burning up McDavid and Draisaitl in their prime. Whoa.
Well, you can't argue that. Like,
I agree.
It's we still have like a lot of their prime left. We have to also remember that. But you're right. Like I can't disagree with that. Oh, geez, almost pulled the microphone out.
He's fired up.
Fired up.
Chris Ryan, C+ is his grade. Depends on what he does this offseason could move him up to a B+, but he has to make some good moves in the next year. Okay, we are at 104 right now. It does not look like any new trades are coming in as of yet. Ben Hutton to Toronto just got announced. Hey,
is that a goalie?
Yes, but why? They just traded for David Rittich, which is hilarious.
What are they doing?
What is Toronto doing? Is Ben Hutton a goalie? He's a goalie. He's a defenseman. No, he's a goalie. He's a defenseman.
Yeah, sorry. For Vancouver?
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, for Anaheim.
Ah.
Who's the goalie, the last name Hutton? Carter Hutton.
There you go.
Yes. Okay. Chris says Oilers are doomed.
That's
just doomed.
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, that's pretty dire language. Like, are we winning the Stanley Cup this year? Probably not. We always have a chance. But next year, we're going to be, to quote Leon Draisaitl, effing phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay, let's run through the list of trades that have happened so far that have somewhat of an impact on the Edmonton Oilers. Eric Gustafsson goes from Philadelphia to Montreal. Sam Bennett finally gets out of Calgary and goes to a playoff contending team in the Florida Panthers. Sam Bennett just went from the Calgary of Alberta. I was going to say something else. He went from Calgary to Florida, man.
Yeah, he's
good for Sam Bennett.
Yeah, he's buzzing.
Playoff team.
And Florida is like a legit team.
Yeah, they are.
And they need some grit, and he's gritty.
Yeah.
He shows up in the playoffs.
Good grit per 60.
Yeah.
Carl Soderberg, the reunion, goes back to Colorado. As we mentioned, Dmitry Kulikov coming to Edmonton. Adam Gaudette gets traded from Vancouver to Chicago. Hey, here's an old boy getting sopped for you. The Pittsburgh Penguins give up quite a bit to get Jeff Carter, who is not on the back nine. Like, he's already on the 19th hole right now. Like, he's practically in the clubhouse.
But yeah, Stanley Cup winner, playoff guy, Crosby connection.
Yeah.
Decent depth move for a team that's trying to take a run.
Calgary trades big stick flip David Rittich to Toronto. That's hilarious.
Is that just a slap in the face to Jack Campbell?
No.
Because they have Hutchinson, Campbell, and then Anderson. So
that's a slap in the face to Hutchinson. Because what they're essentially doing is Toronto, I hate to pump Kyle Dubas' tires, but he is smart in the way that they've pretty much made a handshake agreement with Freddie Anderson that they're going to leave him on LTIR to the end of the season. So he's going to stay on LTIR until they make it to the playoffs. Once playoff starts, because of the way that the CBA works, they can use that money of him being on LTIR.
I should call for an investigation
to acquire.
That seems shady.
Yeah, so essentially they're just...
Oh, Predators just got Eric Branson. Whoa, why are the Predators making a move? Oh, I guess they're going for it.
But anyways...
Not really, but trying for a
seventh
round pick for Branson? To a 2023...
Whether they're doing anything else. Frick. Not even Luke Glendening. Not even Derek Ryan. I shouldn't be disappointed, but I am.
Well, it's because
I just love the deadline.
The deadline's so sweet. Like, remember last year, we were pumped because we made a bunch of moves, right? We made 3 moves, and that was exciting. All of it was last minute. It still might trickle in. You never know, but yeah, it's looking. Erica Branson for a 2023. So not this draft, not next draft, the draft after.
And a 7th round pick.
7th. Oh, and sorry, and another guy, a prospect, Brandon Fortunato.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right.
Okay, I'm just madly refreshing Twitter right now, hoping that it says Oilers got Raquel. We'll see. Could you imagine right now? What a mood changer that would be if the Oilers got Raquel. Sorry.
Apologies, I bet you that was loud AF.
Well, we're like, still, how many more days till we have an Oilers game? Like
Friday.
7? Friday.
Yeah, I'm just, and then Ottawa also claimed Mete off of waivers.
Off Twitter. Yeah, Ottawa claimed Mete, and who else? Oh, Vatanen, Sammy Vatanen. I don't remember where he went.
Dallas,
yeah. So, Oilers don't get Alexiak, Oilers don't get Hall. But they get Dmitry Kulikov. Uh-oh. We have some news coming in.
What?
Sounds like the Jets have made a deal for a defenseman.
No.
Oh, no.
Did you say who?
It doesn't say who. It says details are coming in.
No, this is the thing we didn't want.
Okay, stay tuned.
Who could it
stay
be?
Tuned.
Who could it be?
Send us in right now. Who do you think it is?
Is it Josh Manson? If it's Josh Manson, I'm going to be so pissed.
Or Jamie Alexiak. I can see I just blew out the mic.
Yeah, sorry for that, folks. That is... I'm sorry. I'm staring at Twitter here.
Michael Parker says, always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Oh, we'll be the bride next year. Don't you worry.
Oh my gosh, I just got duped by a fake account. It says Pierre LeBum. Mike Hoffman has been dealt to the Washington Capitals. That's what happened there.
Well, talk about the Caps haven't made a trade, have they?
No, they're too stacked. They don't need it.
Raquel's trending. Why? Hearing Anaheim asking for a first plus for both Raquel and Manson.
Okay,
that was 4 hours ago.
We got some people coming in here. Elaine says Oilers report says to expect another announcement. I haven't seen that anywhere. So Elaine, I hope you're right.
Tell us.
Raj says he thinks it's Manson.
Oh, I hope not.
Gosh, I hope it's not Manson.
Okay.
Come on, this is so exciting.
All right.
Rick, I can't do this. What's going on?
Raquel is trending.
Well, yeah, because everyone's been talking about him all day long.
Yeah, what's the latest?
Who has any sources? Who's got insiders? Someone. Text Gregor. Tell him what's going on. Ask him if the Oilers are making a deal.
Gregor's a really busy guy right now.
Oh gosh.
Man, this is stressful.
Stay with us here. Do not leave yet.
Yeah,
we wanted to get the news live with you when this happens. So stay. Please stay with us. Robert says it's Bufflin. Bufflin returns. That would be funny.
Okay. Yeah, this one guy says Winnipeg have added a depth D. So that would roll up Manson to me.
Yeah.
Waiting for details. So a depth D.
James Mitchell says Dog Park Insider. You got anything? What the frick?
No one's been at the dog park. I was there on Friday. There was nothing shaking. Trust me, I'm working the dog park hard here.
He's working his sources.
Oh God, what do we got?
Give us something. I'm just like, okay. So it says that. Okay. So I think what Elaine meant earlier is that Ken Holland is going to speak to the public at 1:30. So we'll make sure we're wrapped up by 1:30 because Ken Holland is going to make an announcement here. It sounds like Alexiak is staying put. So Alexiak is not the one that got traded. He's going to stay in Dallas. So, looks like the Jets got Zadorov.
Big guy. Physical.
Yep.
Physical. Could be a handful.
Hoffman will stay put.
That's good.
Hoffman stays in St. Louis. That's not freaking good. He should have came to Edmonton, Jay.
Dude, you don't want him.
You
don't want him. We're just refreshing Twitter. We're live streaming us.
So
it's just staring at Twitter.
Zadorov, who everyone thought was going to be a stud in Colorado, goes to Chicago, and then now looks like he's going to Winnipeg.
Suitcase.
Absolute suitcase. Who did he get traded?
So they wanted Savard, couldn't get Savard. Who else did they want?
They probably wanted Manson, couldn't get Manson. They probably wanted Alexiak, couldn't get Alexiak.
That's amazing Anaheim didn't make many moves. That's very weird that they didn't make many moves. A team that's on the rebuild.
I know.
What are you doing?
Okay, now there's people saying that the Jets didn't make a pick or didn't make a trade. Did you see it?
No. I'm going off of you, man.
Now I'm seeing people saying the Jets didn't make a trade.
Well,
frick, what a quiet deadline. Okay. Well, it looks like the deadline sucked.
Yeah. Well,
Taylor Hall at the
really,
box.
what did we expect?
But that's okay. We got a little bit of excitement. It was better than nothing because it's going to be a long week of no Oilers hockey. So.
Sorry, I'm staring at my phone here, trying to see if something pops up here.
Got any questions? For the rest of you that are staying loyal on Facebook, I can see there's still some of you in there.
Yeah, thank you for
joining us.
Send us a question. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for being part of it. It's the Deuce Vodka
really
Deadline
appreciate
Show.
it.
The first edition of the Deuce Vodka Deadline Show.
Yeah.
Whoa. Rebecca Lewis has some breaking news. She says, McDavid stays put in Edmonton. Thanks, Rebecca.
We'll take it. That's good news.
That is good news. Any deadline that McDavid stays put.
Okay.
The Caps are getting Michael Raffle from Philadelphia, it looks like, according to Chris Johnston.
Okay.
LeBrun just tweeted that Zadorov stays put now.
Oh.
What is going on? All my Twitter sources are off.
Twitter's normally 100% accurate.
Everything I read on Twitter is usually right. Literally everything. Okay. Well,
what do we do?
Got anything else to say to the people? You got like what's your like?
What's
the vibe? What's the freaking vibe right now?
You know,
gosh,
like it's tough because part of me because I'm just an insane lunatic fan that I wanted to see big moves happen, and they didn't, so it disappoints me. But also just thinking about the long game in next season, I think I can be at peace with it, provided we make the moves that need to be made for next season. Next week, our window's open now, but it is wide open after that. We have a 3 to 4 year window after this season to really go for it. And this is where we sell every pick, we lean on some prospects, and we build the roster that Connor deserves to go on a deep run.
Well, I had hope for 2 seconds there because Daniel said DeBrusk to Edmonton in the chat, and I thought maybe he was serious. And then 2 seconds later, I opened Twitter, and it says, according to the Athletics' Daniel Nugent-Bowman, the Oilers are done. So the Oilers are officially done. No more trades going to happen for the Oilers. So Dmitry Kulikov is the one piece that will get added. Thank you to everyone that commented and told me that the Oilers were done. I appreciate that. Well, I feel like we do this often as Oilers fans, but I am here to tell you that it'll be next season.
Yeah, but let's see what we can do.
Let's see what can happen this season.
Let's see what can happen this season. We got Mike Smith standing on his head. You can say we've got a little bit more depth on the left defense. And let's just see what we can get. If we can keep Connor and Dry split up so we can have the second line have a chance and then figure out what to do there. And then have Archibald, Kara, and I'm yawning. Wow, exciting trade deadline. Whew.
Well, we just ate some Arby's, so we're still feeling it.
Yeah, definitely buzzing from Arby's.
From Arby's.
Yeah, Archibald, Haas, and Kara running around.
I'm trying to see.
Be a good third line.
I'm seeing some.
We'll see.
I'm seeing some stuff come out that Joachim Nygard might be heading back to Switzerland sometime soon. I don't know.
Oh, I can see that. We're not going to play him.
Yeah,
I think the Nygard experiment is over.
Okay, Raj says, thanks for a great segment. Thank you, Raj. And thank you for everyone that decided to tune in. This was fun. We wanted to make something happen here.
It was frantic.
It was
frantic. It was frantic there for a minute.
A little bit of a twist on the pregame show. Because usually at the pregame show, we just talk about trade deadline stuff. So now we actually got to talk about trade deadline stuff.
And now we can
put
all
the deadline's
talk
passed,
to bed.
so we don't have to talk about Taylor.
So now the next pregame shows on Friday, we'll literally just be talking about the game that night.
Yeah. That'll be exciting.
All right. You okay?
I'm okay.
Josh is not okay. He wanted Taylor Hall really bad.
Yeah, I did. I wanted Taylor Hall really bad. I actually had some shirt mock-ups ready to go to send to Jay. As soon as Taylor Hall got traded to Edmonton. I already had the song picked out for the return home video. I already had it all planned out in my head. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. It was going to be beautiful.
Oh,
it was going to be
good.
Beautiful.
That would have probably given me the goosies.
Oh, Steve Simmons says, GG boys, great
Thanks,
broadcast. Thank you. And yeah, should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up, everyone.
We're going to tune into Ken Holland's live press conference coming in at 1:30 to see what kind of logical explanation he has for the last 24 hours. As always, we want to thank you. This was the Deuce Vodka Deadline Show. Pick up your delicious Deuce Vodka and pick up some of these brand new Nation beer cans. These are perfect for playoffs. They're perfect for the end of the season here. These are beautiful. They're like kind of based on the third jersey, I believe, Jay? Or what was kind of the inspiration behind this?
Oh, they're just based on random colors we chose.
These are cold, man.
Oh, yeah.
Crack it open. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, stay tuned. Friday will be another Nation or Deuce Vodka pregame show. They are taking on the Vancouver Canucks or the Winnipeg Jets? Vancouver Canucks. Canucks will be back in action. Stay tuned tomorrow. We got another edition of State of the Nation. Me, Tyler Yaremchuk, Zach Lang, and the Danalytic will be breaking down everything Edmonton Oilers from the trade deadline to the upcoming games and what we expect from the Edmonton Oilers for the rest of this NHL season. Robert Weber says, trust the process. Yep, pretty much trust the process.
We don't have a choice.
Trust the process at this point. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I'm Josh. This is Jay, and we will see you once